Have you ever read a paragraph and felt exposed? Not because it revealed something new, but because it described something you never knew how to say. And suddenly you feel closer to yourself. Stories do that. They don't just entertain us, they contain us. When you're sad and you read about something or someone navigating grief, something subtle happens. Your emotions gain structure or format. Instead of being a shapeless heaviness, it becomes a storyline. There's a beginning, a middle, a movement. Psychologists often refer to this as narrative containment, the idea that when experience is placed inside story, it becomes more bearable. Raw emotion is overwhelming. Storied emotion is navigable. Sometimes a story feels almost too close. You read a scene and think, this is exactly how I feel. That closeness can be uncomfortable, but it is also regulating because when someone else articulates your internal state, you realize I'm not chaotic, I am human. When Elena Ferrante writes about complicated friendship and female anger, readers often describe feeling seen in ways that are both intimate and unsettling. That is narrative containment at work. The page holds what you thought was uncontainable. So, what if the reason a story moves you is not the plot, but the permission? When we are grieving, we often search for books about grief, not to deepen pain, but to understand its rhythm. In A Grief Observed by C.S. Lewis, he writes candidly about loss, doubt, anger, confusion. Readers don't leave that book fixed, they leave it oriented, grounded. The experience of grief becomes less isolating because someone mapped it for them, and mapping reduces fear of being lost. When we fall in love, we gravitate towards love stories. We read romance. We watch films with familiar arcs. Why? Because narrative amplifies what we are already feeling. It allows us to dwell inside emotion safely. It real love feels uncertain, fictional love feels structured. It fills the emotional void not by replacing reality but by reflecting its longing. Stories give form to desire. Stories act as external containers. They hold themes, abandonment, reconciliation, betrayal, devotion, and symbolic form. When you encounter those themes in fiction or memoir, you engage them at a tolerable distance, close enough to feel, far enough to remain steady. And that steadiness is what allows reflection. This is where journaling enters. After reading something that resonates, ask, what part of this felt familiar? What emotion did this story help me access? Where am I in my own narrative right now? You are not copying the story, you're locating yourself within it. Reading contains, writing integrates. Stories help us sit with ourselves because they prove that emotion can survive language. It can be described, it can be structured, it can move forward. And if a character can move through heartbreak, longing, confusion, maybe you can too. The next time a book feels too close, don't pull away too quickly. That closeness may be the safest way to meet yourself. One story to hold you, one blank page to answer it. And slowly you become less afraid of your interior world. Maybe you'll start loving it too.